Okay, CX50 hitch install. Step one is you gotta get this fascia off the hitches. There's 10mm screws up in there. I've already removed them. Then there's 4 of these guys, and these guys actually pry out. You get a screwdriver and sort of pry these out on both sides, and then the whole thing will pop out. So you get 4 of those out. Next step. Okay, coming back to these, once you get those 4 bolts out, there's actually a little clip right next to the hole, and you can just use your finger, but it's the last sort of attachment point that holds this into place. Okay, so now this guy's removed. So next step is getting the little hitch panel off. So just 2 screws right there. Once you have those screws out, there's these little clips, but you can just put your finger on and pull back on the whole assembly and it'll pop out. Actually, there's 2 clips again here where you just use a screwdriver to pry those down, and then these will pull straight back. Alright, now we're into the meat of this. You gotta use tape to get these pieces of tape on both sides, which will expose where your bolts and whatnot go. Getting the tape off was kind of annoying, so I just took some of the hardware, push it in, give it a push, break the tape. So you got 2 of these on each side. Okay, have your hardware ready on both sides, but essentially pull the hitch onto your body and then bench press it up into place. It's not that heavy or anything like that. And then you can use your knee on the hitch to hold it up, and then you can get a strong hold, or get at least the first 2 bolts started, at which point then it's supported by the bolts and you can figure out the rest and get them in and tightened. Final piece of advice, get something to get some leverage on the hitch, because the last little bit to get them to line up feels like there's not enough space. Or feels like it's just going to miss the holes. They do have the holes wide enough to make it, but you really need to apply some upward pressure on the end of the hitch. So I used my soft mallet and my knee and just give it a push, and then you can get all of them in by hand. Final piece of advice, these bolts take a long time to bolt in. So if you got one of these bendy joints, do this and it'll at least speed things up.